Uh, Me and my wife deliver Amazon Flex, and I wanted to tell you some of the things that you can do to relieve some stress. Number one, you're going to have to slow down a little bit because if you're just getting started, it can be very overwhelming with the packages. Hopefully, when you get started, you get to start with, one of those 9, 10 long mile routes or something like that, and it gets you in the ballpark because you might get two or three of those. But the thing is, you may show up one day and you're going to get one of those routes that's 50, 60 stops, maybe more. The most I ever have gotten is like, what, 59 stops or something like that? I think it's 59. And you may wonder, and you can get a 50, 55 stop route in a 3 hour block. And they're going to be really close together a lot of the times. And then sometimes you may go over an hour. So one of the things you're going to have to do is uh, you're going to have to get efficient. Normally, whenever I go into a stop, from the time I park to the time I put the package on the porch to the time I'm back in the van is like 45 seconds. That's an ideal stop. Now, not every stop is going to be ideal because you're going to have these things called apartments and gated communities that don't have access codes. And this is all stuff that you're going to learn, and it can be frustrating as hell whenever you go somewhere and you're like, I can't get in, and you're not going to know how to contact the customer. You're going to call up support, and you're going to hit text, and it's going to say that there's a technical error, and then you're going to hit call, and the customer's not going to pick up, and then you're going to call support, and then you're going to do everything that you're supposed to do, and then about a week later you're going to get an email saying that you didn't deliver a package on time, or you had to bring it back. You're going to get dinged in some way, and that's going to frustrate you. Just understand they haven't fixed that yet, and that's really nothing to really worry about unless you're doing it on a regular basis. uh, all that bad stuff, anything that you do is going to be counted against you. And I don't mean to put that to you. The more deliveries you do, chances are you're going to do more good deliveries than you are bad. So don't really worry about your ratings too much. Make sure you show up to your blocks on time and you cancel. Now, I've delivered, I don't know how many blocks I've done, but I've done a lot. And I've probably delivered close to 3,000 packages over 5 years. So I've been doing Amazon Flex very part time. Whenever I need the money, boom, boom, boom. I just get out there and I crank it and I make the money, and then I go back to doing my own thing, which is my own business. Uh, but it's there. Do I think that you could make really good money and take care of your family? No, I don't. You're going to have to work something else, probably. Maybe some other gigs. But it's there. If you need an extra, I mean, you could make an extra 1,400 to $2,800 a month if you really work it hard. I mean, if that $2,800, you have to work like 30 days straight, but you can do it. But for the most part, I'm going to talk about just different stuff. Like, for instance, well, I'm just going to tell you stories, and if that's something you're interested in, just subscribe to the channel, or at least, bookmark this little video series or this playlist that I'm going to put together. It's just going to be Amazon Flex drivers, or my story as an Amazon Flex driver. And if you've got any questions and you are an Amazon Flex driver, leave a comment down below, because chances are, if you've been doing it long enough and you've got, I'm going to say, if you got 3 or 4,000 deliveries under your belt, you're probably going to be able to answer a lot of questions. Now, I see a lot of Amazon Flex videos that are out there. I'm going to tell you the straight skinny. Now, you're never going to see me wearing the Amazon vest because I'm a private contractor. And some of the stuff that I talk about, maybe it's my own opinion. It's nothing to do with Amazon. I think Amazon is a corporation, and it does what corporations do. All right? It makes money. And in order for it to make money, it's got to pay money. But, are you going to make the Jeff Bezos check? Absolutely not. You're not even going to come close. But he did allow for a company, for a lot of people, to get some stepping stones going on in their life. Stepping up to where you want to be. Now, I think that's pretty damn cool. No matter who you are. And I've been delivering Amazon for a long time. A lot of you may not know my background. I drove a commercial semi-truck for 22 years, and I kind of semi-retired, got into landscape and vending machines. I do all kinds of stuff. And I got into the Amazon back in 2020, whenever the world was catching on fire, and, or, whatever you were going through at the time. But I kind of like it. As a delivery driver beforehand, I only did like maybe 20 stops a day. I was delivering pallets. And I actually used to go up to Coffeyville, Kansas and pick up 5 or 6 pallets on a 53-foot trailer, and I'd bring them to Irving, Texas every night. That load paid the company that I drove for $700 a load to go from Coffeyville, Kansas to Irving, Texas. Now, I thought that was astronomical money, and it was just basically we were shipping books back then. They were little books, and they looked like Atari game cartridge boxes, but we used to ship them, and that was probably back in 97. No, it was later than that. It was 2001, 2002. But they had a large facility in Coffeyville. Never would have dreamed at that time Amazon would have became the company that it is now. But shoot, now I order stuff from them. I order my auto parts from them. It's a pretty cool gig. And how the Amazon Flex things works, I'm going to tell you the good, and I'm going to tell you the bad. All right? If you're an Amazon Flex driver, chances are a lot of your deliveries are going to be at the end of dead-end roads where you're going to have to come back 2 or 3 miles. You are going to be doing a lot of apartment complexes, and it's not that DSP drivers don't do those apartment complexes, but from the transportation and logistics side of where I've been my entire career, you're doing the stops so that the DSP drivers can be the most profitable and productive on their routes. They don't want those guys going 2 miles, 3 miles down a dirt road and having to come back. DSPs are going to have really tight routes, and every once in a while, as an Amazon Flex driver, you will get the privilege of seeing what a tight route's like, and it's fun. I mean, you can do 50 stops and your route only be 30 miles, and those are good. For some people, they like jumping out of the truck 60 times, and I don't mind jumping out of the van 60 times and making deliveries. But I don't want to do that every day. And that's one of the reasons why I flex. And I've got a large advertisement for my business on the side. You can put the Amazon Flex signs on the side, but the way I see it, when I'm wearing that vest and I jump out, that's advertisement enough for the area that I live in. I wouldn't really say that I live in a dangerous area. We do have some dangerous areas of T-Town where I live at. But for the most part, I've been in Compton. I've been in Watts. I know what it's like in those towns. And I'm telling you what, doing Amazon in Oklahoma is pretty damn easy, and there's not really a rough area anywhere that I can see. So this video is getting a little bit long, but I'm hoping that if you're doing Amazon Flex or you're thinking about doing Amazon Flex, this is definitely the video series that you'll want to watch, because I'm going to be talking everything. And like I said, if you got any questions about Amazon Flex, and I'll get into the complaints and all the stuff and what I personally think of the complaints, because a lot of the complaints are the same, and I'm going to try to, I'm just going to give you the straight, honest opinion from a person that's been driving for a very, very long time. I've got over 3 million miles of commercial driving experience underneath my belt, and that doesn't mean a damn thing, You may look at my videos and say, man, that guy has no idea what he's talking about, and that's fine. And I'm going to talk about the dogs, and I'm going to talk about how to deal with support. There's just so much stuff that I'm going to talk about that if you're an Amazon Flex driver, I guarantee you that I'm a knife sharpener, and you're going to get sharper at driving, and you're going to be better at what you do. Or you're going to think I'm just full of crap. But that's that's the way it goes. I'll talk to y'all later. Have yourself a good one. And I'll see you on the next video.